Hey, gorgeous soul, it's Vix, and this is your pick a card reading for Beltane. So, if you are like me and you reside in the southern hemisphere, it is Beltane for you right now, or coming into Beltane. If you're watching this at a later date, perhaps you live in the northern hemisphere and you're coming across this video when it is Beltane for you, then hi and welcome. You can also watch this video and pick a card for yourself anytime this video happens to appear in your life. So as much as this is going to be a reading based on some of the things that tend to happen around this time, please feel free to watch and join us at any time. So a couple of things before we pick our cards and do some readings. I would like to invite you to a very special event which I am running on the 31st of October, Melbourne time, so it may be the 30th for you if you are somewhere else in the world, called Healing the Witch Wound with Morgan Le Fay. So if you're interested in finding out more about the witch wound, or you already know a bit about it, but you are keen to continue the journey on working with that and healing that, we are healing it for ourselves, for each other, and for the collective. We will be doing that on the 31st, but there will be a replay as well. So if you find this video later and you would like to check that out, it will be up on my shop so you can join us via replay. Okay, I got to tell you what decks we're using because I always forget to do this. The Wandering Star Tarot, the Goddesses Among Us. This is the deck that I created with Ellie Grant. And of course, we are using Seasons of the Witch, the Beltane Oracle. So please take a moment to center yourself. You may like to close your eyes for a moment if it's safe for you to do that where you are. Put your hand on your heart, take a deep breath, and just take a moment to set an intention. You can bring to mind any issues, anything that's challenging you right now, anything that's on your heart or your mind. You can bring that into this space. And just set the intention that you'll receive some guidance on that today. Whether it's through something you see in the cards, something that I say, an idea, or something that just pops into your mind as you're listening, or something that kind of drops in for you later today. And I just like to set the intention, as always, that everything that comes through this reading is in alignment with your best and highest good. So please take a look at the cards that we have here and pick your pile. We have pile number 1 here with the smoky quartz. We have pile number 2 in the middle with the amethyst. And we have pile 3 over on the right with the citrine. So you may feel called to a number, you may feel called to 1, 2, or 3, you may be called to left, middle, or right, or you may be called to one of the crystals. Trust your intuition, trust your guidance, trust that you will be led to the pile that is for you. And of course, you are more than welcome to pick 2 piles. You can pick all of them if that is your jam. I know there's quite a few people who watch these who want all the messages, and that's all good too. Okay, so let's begin with pile number 1. Okay, my beautiful pile number 1, you have the Hermit, Boundaries, and Jalungal. Okay, so you have a very interesting set of cards here. As soon as we see the Hermit, we know that there's some messages here around taking a break, taking some time out, doing some inner work, looking after yourself, looking after your own inner light. But we can also talk about that in terms of looking after your own mental health, looking after your own well-being. And that's absolutely essential for you right now as we deal with all of the intensity that is happening here on planet Earth right now, within ourselves, within the world, within the cosmos as well. So we have a lot going on right now. We have eclipse season. We're still in the end of eclipse season here. We're coming into the end of it as we move into Beltane. We are in Scorpio season. This is all for those who are watching this as I'm filming it here at the end of October 2023 in the Southern Hemisphere. But if you've chosen this pile, there's definitely a feeling here of overwhelm, of needing to retreat, of needing to go back within. And we can see that too with the boundaries card. Boundaries are sewn into the parts of who you are, for they are not to be crossed. And becoming the hermit and taking that time out, taking time to retreat and look after your own light and boundaries, those two cards just feel so beautiful together. They just feel like really a match made in heaven. Because ultimately that's what we're doing when we become the hermit and we go into some kind of inner retreat, whatever that can be for you in your life and in the way that you want to do that. It's very much about looking after your own light, looking after your own energy, and making sure that you have enough to sustain you, that you have enough to sustain yourself, can't speak, and that not only can you sustain yourself, but you can also help others. And sometimes we get ourselves into such a state because we are overgiving, we are helping others to the point where we are completely exhausted. We are just giving so much of ourselves that we are depleted and our light is not there anymore. And we think that's the right thing to do. We think that is, oh, well, I'm being a kind, compassionate person. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to be of service. I'm here to help. But once we get to that point, we are absolutely no use to anybody. And I know this from experience. What happens when we get to that point is we then have to go so far into the retreat and so far into, oh gosh, okay, now I have to look after my mental health, that becomes all you can do. So you're just kind of in this space of, I've got nothing left. And it takes so long, or it can take so long to come out of that, to come out of the other side of that and be able to serve and support people again, to serve and support and help the people around you who need your light. So finding this balance is so, so important for you. And there's a real feeling here that your empathy is just so strong, and that is such a beautiful thing. But if you don't look after yourself, you're going to lose it. And this is what happens to people who are very empathetic, people who are very kind and compassionate. They can continue on this path for a certain amount of time, and then we can become hardened. We can become hardened to the world. We can become one of those people that doesn't have time for anybody else because we just don't have it to give. So setting your boundaries now, doing your energy protection now, not at the point when you're absolutely exhausted and you have nothing else to give. Oh, crap, maybe I should do some energy protection, it's too late at that point. So a really big message that's coming through for you is energy protection now, energy protection now, energy protection now. Find some practices that work for you. I have a whole bunch of courses and classes and tips over on my shop. There's Woo Woo 101, which I recorded that many, many years ago when I first started my business, but I still stand by all of the stuff that's in that course. It's an excellent course for people who are brand new to energy work. I also have advanced energy protection if you've done some energy work before, but you want to go to the next level. There's also tips about energy protection in my book, Witch Please. There's so many places where you can find this information. But as you can see here on this boundaries card, this is a great one. Visualizing yourself in a ball of light, in a sphere of light. Visualizing yourself just surrounded by white light. Golden white light is really nice, or just gold light. Blue is a fantastic protective color as well. That can be a really nice thing to do, but you got to do it. You've got to do it. You've got to do something to protect your energy. Even just having the intention of, okay, I'm going to look after myself. I'm going to protect my energy. Protecting your energy is not just about visualizations, as much as they do work and they do help. It's also about how you take action in the world. So Jalungal comes in and she is here to talk to you about this being very, very powerful time of transitions for you, life stages, coming of age. This isn't just like a kind of, we talk about transitions all the time, don't we? Like everything is a transition. Every eclipse season, every full moon, every new moon, we have an opportunity to go through a transition. But you're going through something really big right now, some kind of really quite big shift, whether it's a big change in your life, maybe you're changing jobs or thinking about it, something in your family or relationships changing, your home life is changing, or maybe it's just that you are changing. You are changing. Like all of the spiritual work you've been doing, all of the personal development work you've been doing is finally kind of catching up. And you're like, wow, okay, I'm actually a totally different person now. So there's like a kind of an initiation that's happening for you now, but it's really, really important that you honor that and that you take the time to really move through this transition in a really graceful way where you are pausing to honor it rather than just pushing through it. It doesn't have to be, transitions don't always have to be like this really big, fast thing that's happening. They usually take time, and it's okay if it's taking time for you to get wherever it is that you want to go next, or wherever the universe is taking you next. But the best way that you're going to find your way through is to be kind to yourself, take time for yourself, look after yourself. I feel like a broken record because I feel like I've been saying that this whole time. But this Beltane for you, my lovely, lovely, gorgeous one, is all about looking after yourself so that you can move through this transition, so you can get to the other side of wherever you want to be, wherever you're going, so that things can get better for you, so that things can get easier for you, so that things can make more sense in your life. You need to look after yourself. You need to have a really healthy, vibrant aura in order for you to go to the next level. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. I feel like you've just had a massive lecture about looking after yourself. But ultimately, this is power. This is how you take your power back. This is how you really step into the next version of yourself, is through taking back your power and saying, you know what, I am worthy. I am worthy of having this time to look after myself. I am worthy of working on my energy protection. I'm worthy of having really strong, loving, clear boundaries. So it all comes down to self-worth, which is all about your power. Ooh, feels really good. Feels really, really good. Beltane, blessings, a gorgeous one. Sending you lots and lots of love. Okay, pile number 3. Your cards are Six of Swords. I'm loving that. Ribbons. And Pachamama. Okay, let's have a look at that ribbons card first. Let's start there. Ribbons. For it lives in the silk of my binding, the knots in my truth, the eye of becoming, the witness swallowed in stillness. Ooh, okay. That's a really interesting card. It feels very kind of curious. Yeah, very much about relationships. If there's some relationship stuff that's been happening for you, this feels like some positivity in your relationships, some positive energy in your relationships. Really using this time of Beltane to tell people how you feel, whether it is a romantic partner, whether it is your friends, your family, just people that you admire. Really sending them some love and just telling people, what's on your mind, how you're feeling. It feels like there's some heart healing that kind of needs to happen for you this Beltane. And Beltane's a really very, very powerful time to work on heart healing. So if you need to do that, that feels like a call of action for you to heal your heart by telling other people how you feel. It's very, very powerful. I've been doing on Instagram, I've been doing the Follow Friday. Years and years ago, we used to do this all the time. And it's one of those things that with all the new things that are happening on Instagram, people don't really do it anymore. But we used to do these shout outs on our stories, and we just shout out other accounts that we liked. And I've been doing that the last few weeks, and it makes people's days. So many people have messaged me and just been like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. It makes people really happy, and it makes me really happy to make other people really happy. So if there's someone that you can make happy over this time, this Beltane season, then do it. It can be the littlest thing. Even just seeing somebody and just saying that you like their outfit can really, just small things like that, just being kind and telling people, when you do like their outfit, tell them. It's not about obviously making stuff up, but if you see something, or you see even like a random stranger and you think there's something really great about them, why not tell them, if it feels good and safe for you to do that. So you also have the Six of Swords, which the keywords on here: explore, discovery, moving on. I love the moving on keyword for the Six of Swords. Six of Swords always just, to me, always has that energy of things getting better. And so as we're talking about this heart healing, I feel like this is kind of moving very much away from some difficulties, moving away from some of the things that have hurt you in the past, whether it's, physically moving away or emotionally letting it go. Some real feelings here about the past being in the past, and for you to be looking ahead now instead of looking behind you. It's good to look at the past, and it's good to reflect on things, and it's good to think about where you were, why you were there, what happened. Looking at how we can learn some lessons from where we were, from the things that we did, from maybe the things other people did as well. How can we maybe not get into those situations again, if possible? So it's definitely worth reflecting on the past, but there's a real message for you here around look, the past is done. You've done the work. You've taken the lessons that you needed to take. And now it's all about looking forward. It's all about looking to the future. And then you have Pachamama. So you have a really interesting kind of group of cards, because it's almost like you've got three separate messages. I do think these two go together a little bit with the, moving on and letting old hurts and old heart stuff, letting that go from the past and moving forward. They definitely relate. But then you also have this message from Pachamama about the earth. And so here, as we're celebrating Beltane, Beltane's very much about the earth. I mean, the whole wheel of the year is about the earth, obviously, and the different things that are happening in the earth. And right now, there's an invitation to go outside and see what's growing. Go and have a look at what's growing. Look at what's growing wherever you live. So I live in Australia, and we have so many different climates in Australia, of course. So wherever you live might be completely different to where I live. Right now we have roses blooming in the garden. We have lots of wildflowers coming out. But where you are, it's going to be different. But go outside and take a look. I feel like Pachamama's really urging us to really reconnect to nature. And we're very much trying to do that as magical people, especially those of us who identify as witches. Getting back to nature is like the whole thing we're trying to do, right? We want to be as connected to nature as possible. But for many of us, it becomes a little bit like lip service, or something that we'll do when we have time instead of prioritizing it. And I do this sometimes too. I try to get out for a walk every single day. But sometimes if I'm busy at work, I find myself thinking, I'll go later if I have time. And occasionally, it's very occasional now, but occasionally I won't make that time, and I will not go outside. And I really feel the difference within myself when I have been outside and when I haven't been outside. I can really, really feel it. And so I feel like she's calling us. She's really, really calling us back to the earth, and to think about, we often get on like social media and people are posting all these like memes and really cute, beautiful infographics and all this stuff of, 10 ways to reconnect to the earth, 10 ways to work with herbs and your spells, and all this stuff is really great. It has a place, but ultimately I feel like Pachamama's just telling us, you don't need to sit and read an article about how to connect to the earth. You just need to go outside. You just need to go outside and have a look around. Go outside and literally stop and smell the roses. Literally just stop and smell the roses. And gosh, it just feels like such a big message, that one, because I think so many of us, we do that. We get caught up in looking at somebody else's TikTok about how to reconnect with nature, when you could just be outside channeling in, really directly channeling in, directly connecting in, grounding into the earth. A really beautiful grounding visualization you can do on Beltane or anytime is go outside, put your feet on the earth or into the grass. You can take your shoes off. If you live somewhere where you can't take your shoes off, you don't need to. But just visualize a beautiful cord of light between your heart and the heart of the Earth Mother. So as if at the very center of the earth is a pulsing heart, and connect your heart in with the Heart Mother, the heart of the Earth Mother. So I know Rebecca Campbell talks about something similar to this, where she lies on the grass and she feels her heart beating into the earth. That can be like a really beautiful way to do it as well. But you don't have to lie down. You can just, I'm a little bit hesitant to lie down where I live because there's a lot of spiders and bugs on the ground. So I do it when there's a good place to do it. But That's not accessible to everyone, but do whatever. Now I feel like I'm becoming one of those people that's like, oh, here's 10 ways to reconnect to the earth. Just reconnect to the earth in whatever way you feel called. Go outside, look around, see what's growing. But also I feel like Pachamama wants to remind us to take a look at what is growing in our lives and to be grateful for it as well. And that gratitude is such a huge, huge part of the Beltane festival. Really being grateful for everything that's growing around us, everything that's growing within us, everything that's growing in our lives. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be full bloom. It may be that you've got a few green leaves. That's fantastic. Maybe your roses aren't fully blooming yet. That's okay. That's fine. But being grateful for what you have and what is growing can really, really help you to connect in with this beautiful, abundant season and festival. Okay, gorgeous soul. I really hope that helped and supported you. And yeah, sending you lots and lots of Beltane love. Okay, pile number 3. Here are your cards. You have the Magician. Woohoo. Okay. Chant. Hear me loud, hear me roar, for I am here in my truth. Here for that. And Solus Minerva. Life, water, and nourishment. Wow, what beautiful, beautiful cards for Beltane. These are so perfect. I'm loving this. Okay, so the Magician comes in, and the Magician invites you to use this time to make some magic, to use this time to sow some seeds, to plant some seeds, to think about what you want to manifest in your life. What do you want to create? What do you want to what do you want to do with these next few months? I always like to kind of connect in at the wheel of the year and think about what's been happening in the last few months, what's working, what's not working. And then I like to kind of look from Beltane to what are we heading into? We're heading into Yule. Not Yule here. Oh gosh. Litha. It's so confusing being in the southern hemisphere sometimes, especially after spending 10 years in the UK. I'm still kind of like, what's happening? So Litha. So for us, it's going to be the summer solstice. So we can think about, what do you want to create? Let's put it like that. Instead of like, what do you want to achieve? What are your goals? Let's say, what do you want to create? I love that, actually. I really, really love that. I think I'm going to use that for all my goal setting from now on. It's what do you want to create in the next 3 months? What do you want to create? Whether it's like you want to create some artwork, you want to create some kind of project. Do you want to create a better home life for yourself? Do you want to create something within yourself, like a deeper sense of peace? What is it that you want to create in your life? So my vacuum cleaner's just come on. I don't know how loud that's going to be, but hopefully not too loud. Okay, bear with me for 1 second. I do just love the way these things happen. Okay. All right. So, what do you want to create? What do you want to create in these next 3 months? What do you want to create? You have the power. You have the power. So we have this chant card. Hear me loud, hear me roar, for I am here in my truth. You have to say it out loud. You have to say out loud what you want. You have to ask for what you want. Very, very loud, very clear message coming in here. You have to ask for what you want. What do you want? What do you want to create in these next 3 months? How are you going to ask for it? Who are you going to ask for it? So, of course, the obvious thing is to ask the universe, your guides, the angels, whoever, whatever it is that you speak to, is a really good place to start. You can ask your friends, people that you know, people in your community. You can ask them for things that you need. There's this old kind of saying, and actually my friend Sophia Loveshock was talking about this on her stories the other day, and I got on to say that I wholeheartedly agree. She was talking about how people are often told, don't share your dreams with anybody. And I think sometimes there's truth in that. Sometimes your dreams may not be ready to be shared. Maybe you're not in a place where you can handle people poo-pooing your dreams. Maybe some people aren't going to believe in you or support you, so you don't want to tell those people, and that's absolutely fine. But if you do tell people about your dreams, they may be able to help you make them come true. So I've manifested so many things in my life just by asking for it. And I have this beautiful story, and I've told this, I could tell this in my free manifesting masterclass, which you can find over on my website. I will try to remember to put the link here. I shared this story about when I was in New York, and I started to just ask people for things, and it was really fascinating what happened. I remember checking into a hotel, and I was writing with a pen, I was writing my name, signing my name or something with their pen, and I said, "This is a really nice pen." And then something came over me, and I just kind of asked, "Can I have this pen?" And the guy was like, "Yeah, sure." It's like, "Yeah, take it." And I was like, oh, that was interesting. And then there was another time where someone had lent me a lip balm, and I was like, this lip balm's really nice. Could I have this? And they were like, yeah, sure. And it was really, really interesting, because it was kind of the first time in my life where I'd been so bold as to just ask for what I wanted. And of course, looking back, it's like, well, did I really need that pen? Did I really need that lip balm? I actually did give the lip balm back to that person a little while later. But it was just a really interesting experiment, just to kind of go through life for a little while and just ask for things and see what the response is. And you'd be amazed how many people say yes when you just ask for help, or you ask for something that you may need from them. So whatever you're trying to manifest, if you need some help, ask for it. Put it on your Instagram, put it on your Facebook, just tell a friend, because you never know, like maybe they can't directly help you, but they may know someone. If you're looking for a job, tell people, hey, you know what, I think I'm gonna look for a new job. I think I really want to work in whatever kind of job that you're looking for, and you never know who's going to be able to help you with that. So asking for what you want is a big part of it. And then you have Sulis Minerva here, life, water, nourishment. You have to water your dreams. You have to nurture your dreams. These things that you want to create, these things that you want to achieve. I know we weren't really going to use that word achieve, but the things that you want to make happen in your life, you need to be watering them. You need to be nurturing and nourishing them. So often I think we put these manifestations out in the universe. I want this to happen. And then we don't do anything. Anyone ever done that? I know I have. I want to be a rock star. It's like, okay, that's cool. Are you practicing the guitar? No? Okay. I want to be an actor. Okay, are you acting? And I talk to my guides about this all the time, because I have some big dreams with my fiction writing. And I feel my guides just laugh at me about it sometimes because I'm like, I really, this is my big dream. I really want to get some fiction traditionally published and see that on the shelves in Waterstones or Big W or, wherever we buy our books from. Hopefully we buy them from small businesses, right? Ideally. But, seeing your book out there on the shelves, like that is, one of my big dreams at the moment. And, it's really interesting because my guides are always like, well, are you writing? Are you submitting the book that you finished? How many agents are you submitting that? Are you telling people about that? And, I always have to kind of humble myself at those times and kind of go, okay, maybe I need to be doing something about that. So we can say all we want, I want to be a rock star, but if we're not practicing the guitar, we're saying one thing, but we're doing another. So what we're saying with our words is just one way to ask for what you want, right? And it's not just like, oh, well, if you say it out loud, it'll happen. We need to also speak with our actions. So you've got a really, really interesting message here. So much about manifestation, so much about making magic happen in your life. So much about what are you going to create in the next 3 months. And maybe the creation in the next 3 months is something small. Maybe there's like a longer term creation that you are working on, things that you're working on for like longer term manifestations. You can absolutely like put those into the cauldron, this Beltane. But I feel like this Beltane is going to be really, really powerful for you in terms of manifestation. So do some manifestation work, do some spell work. Ask for what you want, put it out into the universe, because this just feels really, really aligned for you. And there's something that you're manifesting, there's something that you're working on that's like, use this portal, use this time, use this incredible energy of growth and magic to really just get behind what it is that you're trying to create, because it feels like there's a lot of guides and a lot of beings around you that really want to see this succeed. They really want to see you really living your best life, and they want to help you, and they're like, ask us for help as well. Ask us for help, but also ask your guides and your angels for advice and for guidance too. Oh, okay, that feels good. I'm really, really excited for you. I hope that all of your manifestations come to fruition, and I am sending you lots and lots of love and Beltane blessings.